When I was in grade school, which would have been back in about 1954, we were taught to duck and cover. And that was that we believed in our country that the Russians were going to invade us at any moment, and they were going to bring their airplanes over us, and they were going to bomb us. I was living in Champaign, Illinois. I was in third grade. And in third grade, in Mrs. Anderson's class, the bell would ring, ring, and the teacher would scream, "Duck and cover." And we would push off of our desk chair and get down on the floor and get underneath our desk. And that was duck and cover.
You'll have to know what happens when an atomic bomb explodes. You'll know when it comes. We hope it never comes, but we must get ready. It looks something like this. There is a bright flash, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything you've ever seen. First, you duck, and then you cover. And very tightly, you cover the back of your neck and your face.
Well, I'm of the belief that we're back into duck and cover relative to the stock market. Let me get rid of this for a second. I believe that next week is a duck and cover week. We've got a lot of things that are coming together that are creating some turmoil in the stock market, and not least of which is the NASDAQ and the FANG and the Big Six and the Big Nine. They all have run up substantially over the past, 3-4 months. And there's a lot of fear that they're going to drop substantially. We also have the interviews coming up with the House interviewing Amazon, Facebook, Apple, and Google, all about, are they getting too big, and are they getting too strong, and are they threatening small companies and undermining the capitalist system, and Amazon isn't paying taxes, and all kinds of things of that nature. A lot of people don't recognize that maybe Amazon doesn't pay taxes, and that's partly because our tax code says they're allowed to write off the years of losses that they had in building their company. But in all that time, they were paying employees, and those employees were paying taxes. So that's an issue. And then you've got Apple and how they make 20 to 30% off of all the apps that they have, and is that really fair? And is Amazon's treating their third-party sellers fair? Well, I remember when I was in the bleach business, there was what they call private label brands that were always in the grocery store, and they're still in the grocery store, and nobody's beating up on Winn-Dixie or Publix or Kroger for selling their own brand of bleach, but that's what they're going after Amazon for, and Google, that they have a monopoly on the advertising online business. And again, it's the same old thing that if you're the New England Patriots and you deflate a football, there's going to be a congressional investigation against you. When you're a winner, you walk around with a target on your back. So that's a negative thing going on. The other thing I'm hearing more and more, that with all the money that is being put out there by our federal government and other governments, that we're deflating our currency, and gold has hit a new high, and it's time to run for cover, duck and cover, because gold is going up, and so the devaluation of the dollar, and that means that the $3,000 price on Amazon isn't justified, because that $3,000 doesn't represent $3,000 anymore, and you better get in gold and silver and platinum of those things. So that's happening this next week. Then you have with the uneasiness, I want to call it Spygate. That's a term that came again from the past, that we were closing down a Chinese embassy, and the Chinese are closing down a U.S. embassy because we're spying on each other. Well, didn't we just talk last week about Palantir? I think that's the name of it. It's a company that had been hiding in the shadows, that has been providing the CIA. In fact, the CIA funded it originally so that we could spy on other countries, and we could find Osama bin Laden when we wanted to, and we could fly drones over Afghanistan and blow up their leaders when we wanted to. And don't you think maybe they've been spying on China to see if they have a vaccine, as well as China's spying on us to see if we have a vaccine, and if we discover they have a vaccine, do you suspect maybe we might go in and try to get their formula, and as well as they come in and go? So I don't think this is anything new, but it's in the headlines, so we've got to deal with it. So that's an issue this next week, and that's part of my duck and cover. This could put turmoil into the market. Then we have on the 30th, Amazon's going to report. One side of the faction says that Amazon is riding the coronavirus wave and that you aren't shopping in the stores anymore, but you're shopping at Amazon, so they're going to make a lot of money. But then you have the Amazon employees saying they aren't being treated well, and so they think they need hazardous pay, and how many people in this warehouse are getting the coronavirus. So again, there's some turmoil there, and so we need to duck and cover about that. And then you had Microsoft report at their earnings, and they blew out the earnings because their cloud business is booming, and again, they're benefiting from the coronavirus wave, but their price went down and they lost about 7% of their value over the last week and a half. And so that's another duck and cover. Maybe the whole thing is blowing up. And then you had Tesla came out, and they made their profits, and yeah, but maybe they cooked their numbers a little bit, and then they're going to be admitted to the S&P 500, and then they've got this battery, and in the future they're going to have a 1,000,000-mile battery, and we talked about that last week. And so again, we don't know what's going to happen there. They're overvalued. They're a long-term hold. No, they're a scam. So we better duck and cover because we don't know what's going to happen there. And then Apple has got the pundits are saying they've just gotten overvalued. There's a 13% downside on that. They're at 370 and expect them to go to 320. But wait, there's a gap at 308. Maybe they'll get down there and we can buy back in. And so we better duck and cover because we don't know what's going to happen. So what are you going to do? What am I going to do? I don't think I'll be ducking and covering, if that's what you think. I just think that here we go. We're going through a period of time where we just had it great. I mean, I couldn't believe sometimes the amount of money I was making a day off of my stock portfolio, and I'll be damned if now they aren't coming back and trying to take some of it away from me. Okay, I didn't deserve $20,000, $30,000 a day off the stock market, and I agree, I didn't. So if you want to come and take 15 of it back, okay, you can have 15 of it back, or you can even have 20 of it back, or you can have 40 of it back. I don't care. I made money. I'm happy with what's happened in the past. And I'm happy with what I think is going to happen in the future. I believe that Tesla is going to dominate the auto industry, and I believe that I'll have solar panels on my next house and a battery in my garage, and I'll power my own house. Maybe I won't sell it back to Alabama Power. I don't know. That really doesn't matter to me. Do I believe that Amazon is going to and Facebook are going to take everything they've learned how to do in the United States and capitalize on that and take that talent to India and Africa and wherever else? Yeah, I do. I wouldn't know why they wouldn't. And if I own part of that company, am I going to profit from it? Yeah, I expect I will. But wait, is the government going to tear it down and break it up like they did AT&T? I don't think so. I don't think they're that dumb. I really don't. So then why are they investigating them? Why are they doing this? What is the main purpose? What is the number one objective of every senator, representative, and president in Washington? Have you ever read how a new senator comes in and he spends more time in a phone room than he does in the legislature? In a phone room, calling back to his community, trying to raise money. Well, what better way to raise money than to be the head of an investigating committee that's going to vote on whether to break up Amazon, Facebook, Apple, and Google, and maybe take a contribution to the campaign if you'll vote in their favor? Hey, that's a stroke of genius. Why didn't I think of that? Why would anybody go? Why would Tommy Tupperville, the ex-best football coach of Auburn, sign up to be a senator? And what does he make? $200 and some thousand a year? Come on. The guy's, he doesn't need that money, but maybe his ego needs, maybe he misses being in the spotlight. No, there's so much benefit. If you have the influence to put Amazon out of business or keep them in business, do you think there's people going to be ringing your doorbell or calling you up on the phone and saying, hey, your vote's important. Where would you like to vacation this next year? Come on. So I'm going to duck and cover. I sold a trailer park. We should close on it somewhere in the middle of August. I hope this is continuing to go on in the somewhere in August, because I'm going to pick up a check for about $28,000, and I know where that money's going to go. It's going to go into the big six, and whichever one of them have come down. So am I going to bail out now, take my profits, sit on the sideline, wait for Amazon, Facebook, Apple, and Google to go down? Well, if I knew they were, yes, but I don't know that they are. So I could gamble. No, I'm not a gambler. I could trade. No, I'm not a trader. I believe that Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Google, Tesla are going to be worth more 5 years from now than they are today. That's good enough for me. I don't know what they're going to be worth this time next week. I don't care. I have a plan. I have rectified and approved that plan with my roommate, the guy in my head that calls me stupid sometimes. Or, are you sure you want to do that? He doesn't say stupid anymore. We got past that. He and I have an agreement. We have a plan. We have read the books. We have studied. We know where this world is going. We know how it's gotten here. And so we have a plan. And we're going to stick to that plan. And we're going to stay with our investments. Now, if we see opportunities along the way to jump in, jump out, we'll do that. But we know where this world is going. We know what it's going to look like in the future, and we're going to stay with it. I'll go into more detail on that on my morning letter as we go through the week. If you aren't getting the morning letter, go to bestofusinvestors.com and just give me your email and your name, and I'll send it to you free of charge every morning. I also wanted to share with you, I'm expanding into Facebook. We're going to change that page to a Best of Us Investors page. I'm getting on Twitter and I'm getting on Instagram, where I will share more information, more snippets, more information. So go down into the descriptions right there. You're going to see my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Facebook page links. And we're going to grow this community. As I said, we're going to grow to 1 million. And then once we hit 1 million, we'll shoot for 2 million. Because again, I want to make this your channel. I want you to feel comfortable here. If I can help you in any way, as I tried this last week, Ren, thank you for subscribing to Ren. Ren wrote me this morning and said he just was elated at the results he got from me airing his video on Best of Us Investors. And Trent, my son, and some of you said, that's filthy nepotism that you're promoting your son on your YouTube channel. Get over it. I'm going to continue to take care of my son, and I'm going to continue to take care of other members of my tribe. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but that's who I am. I am not a selfish, snobby, arrogant son of a bitch who just wants money for himself and won't share his good fortune with other people. If that's nepotism, then you're at the wrong place. Okay, shouldn't have got negative like that. So that's what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to duck and cover.